My advice to him is as he's moving up to his upcoming fight, make sure that he focus on speed, he focus on how to improve his strength and while maintaining the speed. Canelo Crawford, good fight. Good fight.
No.
Canelo has advantage because Crawford moving up, but my advice to Crawford is like maintain the speed, improve the speed, and improve the strength.
Okay, take a pic. Okay, you take a pic. Boxing veteran Manny Pacquiao recently gave a fiery interview in which he revealed everything there was to know about the eagerly anticipated fight between Terence "Bud" Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Pacquiao provided a shrewd strategic appraisal of how the battle may go and which boxer has the advantage, drawing on his decades of experience in middleweight and welterweight combat. Pacquiao's opinions on power, quickness, ring IQ, and the psychological battle between the two top fighters are already causing a stir in the boxing world, despite the opinions of fans and pundits being divided.
If you were to fight, let's say Terence Crawford, what weight would you want to fight at?
147.
147 still?
Yeah.
All right, well, I think you might be watching this. This is going to make a little bit of news. Why don't you go ahead and challenge him right now?
Because my natural weight is 140, so I mean I'm just moving up to 147, so it's not to getting hard to reduce.
He says he wants to fight Canelo maybe at 168 pounds. Do you imagine him beating Canelo at that weight?
I don't know. Let's wait.
Manny Pacquiao cautioned Terence "Bud" Crawford about the danger of jumping two weight classes to face Canelo Alvarez. Drawing from his own experience as an 8th division world champion, Pacquiao bluntly stated, "It's good for Canelo," noting that the size and power at 168 pounds give Alvarez a major advantage, while he acknowledged Crawford's elite speed, fluid style, and potential added strength. Pacquiao warned that these attributes may not be enough to withstand the heavy shots and physicality of a naturally bigger opponent. He emphasized that the jump from Crawford's usual weight range into Canelo's undisputed super middleweight domain requires not only intense training but also sharp footwork and high ring IQ. In Pacquiao's view, Crawford must push past his physical limits just to compete on even footing. Even then, the challenge remains steep. Pacquiao's message was clear: this is no ordinary fight. It's a high-stakes gamble that could define or derail Crawford's legacy.
That's not easy for Crawford. I mean, it's Canelo has the big advantage, but Crawford needs to manage well his body, his speed, and his power, because he's moving up to another level of weight.
I asked this because you did it with Margarito. You went to 54. And people were like, "Oh my God, this guy's so big, Margarito!" But your speed made the difference in that fight. Well, what advice would you give a smaller guy like Crawford to fight someone like Canelo, who's a lot bigger and stronger?
You know, preparing like that opponents, like is not only the speed, but you know the techniques that you can use in the fight. Like make sure that in your daily routine, training routine, like that, make sure that all the techniques, strategy, combination, like you know, it's accurate to your opponent's style. You know what I'm talking about? Like when you have a exam, a math exam tomorrow, you have to review right now a math subject. You don't need to review English subject or a science subject. You have to review math subject because tomorrow you're going to have a exam. You're going to exam a math subject. That's
a hard exam.
The epic showdown is scheduled to take place in Las Vegas on September 13th, 2025, in order to battle Canelo Alvarez for the undisputed super middleweight championship. Crawford is moving up two weight classes. The fight, which will be streamed live on Netflix, will combine the WBA, WBC, IBF, WBO, the Ring, and TBRB crowns. Currently 41-0 with 31 knockouts, Crawford is poised to become the first male boxer in the four-belt era to win undisputed championships in 3 different weight classes. He has previously defeated top opponents like Israel Madrimov and Errol Spence Jr.
You've accepted this fight now, but in the previous years you said it doesn't interest you because you have nothing to gain and everything to lose. If he were to beat you, how damaging would that be to the Canelo brand?
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me.
When you say, I want Canelo, is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
That's a big boy. He's strong. That's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like yes, man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Madrimov.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stones. It's about now.
With a career record of 63 wins, 2 defeats, 2 ties, and 39 knockouts, Alvarez is a formidable force in the super middleweight class. Among his many honors are titles in the super middleweight, middleweight, junior middleweight, and light heavyweight weight classifications. Notably, Alvarez defeated Caleb Plant in 2021 to become the first undisputed super middleweight champion.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time, the power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
I'll say he is the hardest, for sure. One of the fighters that hit very hard was Angulo. You know, he's a Cuban guy, and he punched very hard too. So I'll say both of them are like the same, but, you know, with Canelo, I was just mentally ready for his shots. You know, I already told myself, I know I'm going to get hit. I know I'm going to get hit on my chin, but it's, you know, I got to bite down on my mouthpiece and push. You know, and look what happened in the 3rd round. I got hit with a left hook. We'd be practicing in camp the whole time, you know, keeping my right hand to my chin, and I wound up just moving, and he connected right on my chin. And you see how I punched my glove, you know, that's like a thing for me when my last time when I got dropped, I was punching my gloves, 'cause I'm like, damn, I got hit with a shot. I'm not supposed to be on the floor. But, you know, it comes to boxing. You know, the greats done got dropped, you know, got hurt. But it's about how you come back and respond.
Juan Manuel Marquez, a legendary boxer, publicly voiced his strong disapproval of Crawford's choice to battle Canelo Alvarez as a super middleweight by jumping 2 weight classes. Although he acknowledged that Crawford was brilliant in all 4 divisions, he cautioned that the physical difference was too great. He questioned if adding heft would affect Crawford's fluidity, pointing to his muted pace and limited power at 154 pounds. Marquez thinks Alvarez's natural 168-pound stature will prevail unless he makes abrupt strength increases. Marquez maintains that weight distinctions are in place for a purpose and views this fight as a dangerous departure from good boxing principles. Despite his admiration for Crawford's defensive prowess and deft shooting combinations,
I don't like the fight because Terence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, it has divisions. You know what I mean? You know?
Right, weight classes.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes for and Terence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terence Crawford fought with Madrimov.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks with no power, and 3 more divisions. 2 more divisions. I think it's a top fight for Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He has a great defense. He has a good combination punches, but I think the weight class is no good for him.
The boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. believes the outcome of a potential Canelo Alvarez versus Terence "Bud" Crawford showdown will hinge more on strategy than size. Speaking to the Ring magazine in February, Jones said the key factor won't be Crawford moving up in weight, but how Canelo fights. If Alvarez does what he should, he'll win, Jones explained. But if he fights poorly, Crawford will take advantage. He stressed that Crawford must control the center of the ring to keep Alvarez under pressure. By June, Jones had doubled down on his view. Weight doesn't matter. What counts is whether Crawford can absorb Canelo's power. He said, when you're as skilled as Bud is, weight doesn't really matter much. However, he cautioned Crawford against excessive movement, saying, if you run from a big man, you give him all the confidence. That's stupid. Ultimately, Jones sees this clash as a cerebral battle fight defined by timing, tactics, and mental toughness as much as physical power. It's boxing at its most intellectual.
I don't care who you beat, the monster thing is going to always follow him.
Terence is not taking a fight in between. He's like, I'm going to move up to 168. I'm going to take my time with that. Should we expect an upset, or are we going to see what most people are expecting in that fight if it does happen?
Well, we're not going to see what most people are expecting. That's for sure. I can guarantee you that, because most people looking at the weights and saying, oh, they're too far apart. Canelo is too big. No, we're not going to see what y'all think we're going to see. We're going to see a chess match, and a chess match that, if it's played correctly by each side, it could be very interesting. If it's played wrong by either side, the other side will dominate. That's how good this fight is.
Let's say if Canelo wins, do you think people give Canelo credit because Bud is smaller? And if Bud wins, should he just retire and go on the sunset?
Bud definitely should retire if he wins. Canelo, no, you have unfinished business, bro. You can try to hide, you can try to run, but that monster thing, it ain't going nowhere. I'm sorry. Even if you retire the rest of your career, the monster thing is not going anywhere because the monster was searching for you. He beat everything y'all sent at him in the process of trying to get to you. I don't care who you beat, the monster thing is going to always follow him.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there was a time where he was saying, Benavidez was saying, you know what, I got to earn that Canelo shot. He earned that shot a long time ago.
Jim Lampley favors Canelo Alvarez in this big fight, but he constantly underlines that Terence Crawford is a talented boxer who should not be taken lightly. Lampley observes Canelo's development throughout time. After suffering early defeats to Mayweather and Bevell, he has now developed into one of boxing's most potent counterpunchers because to enhanced defensive timing and strengthened core muscles via non-traditional training methods like horseback riding. He admires Crawford's resume and likens his flexibility and offensive defense skills to a contemporary Sugar Ray Robinson, pointing out that Crawford can change positions and adopt a brutal mentality when necessary.
Crawford is going to fight Canelo because even if I have some doubts and misgivings about the size matchup, it is two action fighters who like to fight aggressively at times, not all the times, going against each other, and we'll see who can open the other person's tuna can, so to speak.
Uses strength and conditioning. There's very few fighters that just train using skill, just train skills. Like George St. Pierre did that for a certain period of his career.
I wonder if there's anybody left in boxing who trains just using the gym skills. There were a lot of them when I was first involved in the sport who would never have touched a weight.
Right.
They subscribed totally to the notion that was negative.
Right. And the worst case, I mean, they definitely did calisthenics, but that was it. It was just body weight exercises, which brings us to Crawford, which I think is really interesting. The Crawford-Canelo fight.
Beyond interesting. Fascinating.
Fascinating. Because how does Crawford compete with that size? And, we have to recognize, okay, well, when Canelo fought Floyd, it was 152 pounds, right? So he had dropped down, which was a struggle for him, which is why Floyd was so brilliant in getting him to go down to 152, because he knew he would be drained.
Was it 52 or 54?